First off, again, this is our first general community update on our Summer Streets program. We now have both University Avenue as well as California Avenue closed or closed to traffic and open to walking. So depending on how you describe it, it's either closed or open. But in either case, this has been a tremendous new program for the city of Palo Alto, and we're really pleased to be able to support both our businesses as well as our residents who would like to get out and enjoy in a socially distanced and responsible manner to get out and participate in outdoor dining as well as retail with all of the stores and restaurants that are now open. So this will be the first of our bi-weekly updates. And we'll have reports here in this session on both the closure and what's happening with the closure, Parklets, where dining is allowed on streets, literally, and some updates related to traffic and transportation and parking, how you can stay informed on the progress of the Summer Streets program over the next several weeks, as well as we'll provide an opportunity for questions and to give us feedback both here in this session, as well as on an ongoing basis. So with that, I'm going to turn it back to Megan.
Thanks. I'm going to turn it over to Brad, our Public Works Director.
Thank you, Ed and Megan. So I'll talk about the street closures and parklets. And again, our goal is to support restaurants by providing space for outdoor dining with social distancing, both for residents and visitors to enjoy. So we started on University Avenue with a Friday through Sunday closure 2 weekends ago, and then began the current continuous closure last Friday. And as you can see on the map, the closure is from High Street to Cowper Street, but with the cross streets of Emerson, Ramona, Bryant, and Waverly open and the traffic lights there set to flashing red. So the plan for the closure, it's expected to be in effect through August 2nd, but this is of course subject to feedback from the community and interested businesses, which is part of the reason why we're holding these meetings. And staff are monitoring for issues. Public Works has extra staff checking on cleanliness and the traffic controls, and transportation is actively looking at parking and traffic issues. Next slide, please. So for CalAV, we have the same goal of supporting restaurants and retailers. On CalAV, though, the closure has been continuous for almost 4 weeks now, and it extends from El Camino Real to Birch, as shown on the map. And you may recognize that this is the same closure area as the Sunday Farmers Market, which has been going on for many years. Based on requests from some businesses that we've received, we're also considering now doing an additional closure of the block that goes from Birch to Park Boulevard. We're currently planning to keep the Cal Ave closure in place through Labor Day. And again, staff is monitoring for any potential issues there. And next slide. So parklets, you've probably noticed downtown the new parklets that are on University and Emerson. There are 5 of them that to date have been completed to allow additional outdoor dining space in parking spaces in front of or adjacent to restaurants. And trying to move rather quickly on this, staff put together some standards for parklets to address safety, aesthetics, and code compliance. And then we've also been implementing an expedited permit process to support the ability of restaurants to implement these parklets. One important note, the permits are temporary. They allow the parklets to stay in place through December of this year. And as noted, Public Works is issuing these parklet permits. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Chief Transportation Official Philip Cammey. Philip?
Thank you, Brad. Yeah, I'm Philip Cammey, Chief Transportation Official. And start off by talking a little bit about some of the monitoring that the Office of Transportation has been doing and will be initiating. The Office of Transportation will be starting on July 7th to do traffic data counts, which collect speed, volume, and vehicular classification. And in addition to that, the Office of Transportation has collected manual pedestrian counts and also been monitoring the neighborhood parking impact in the residential preferential parking districts. And we're also working with the team to develop additional inputs. Along with that, we've been using the city messaging and the Megan, the Chief Communications Officer, to promote and encourage bicycling and walking to the Summer Streets locations through emails and social media posts. And additionally, there are signs that have been posted out at California Avenue to encourage bicyclists to stay aware of pedestrians and to stay in the center of the lane, and essentially to share the streets with the pedestrians in those high pedestrian zones. The parking continues to be encouraged in the public garages and lots. And with that, we're currently developing some free parking, free garage parking signage that will indicate that you can park at any public garage or lot without time restrictions, fees, or permits. And the signs will be deployed at key decision points to direct drivers to public garages and lots. And we'd like to ask that you please encourage any of your employees, if you're a business in one of these zones, to park in the garages and lots as long as possible, as there's currently significant capacity. And we'd like to keep from impacting the residential preferential parking district zones as long as possible, because as you'll see in the last bullet, we're currently waiving our parking restrictions. And in particular, as we're mentioned, we're waiving them in the garages, we're waiving them in the business district. We're also waiving them currently in the RPP districts. And as I mentioned earlier, OT, Office of Transportation staff, has been monitoring that and is noticing a little bit of an uptick in parking in the residential preferential parking zones, and specifically in the neighborhoods that are closest to the business district. So it's likely that either later this month or potentially early next month that we could expect to resume RPP enforcement, which should further incentivize the use of garages and lots over on-street parking. And with that, I'm sorry to say I'm not sure who the next slide is.
That's for me. Thank you. Thank you, Philip.
Thank you.
So we wanted to highlight a few ways of staying informed and also opportunities to share input through this process. We've created a dedicated web page, and it's updated regularly as new details arrive, including expansion of the closure dates if necessary, or changes related to that, as well as other parking restrictions that might come into play at a later point. That website is cityofpaloalto.org/summer streets. Also on this web page, we have an online survey available to share feedback. So if you go halfway through the page, there's a green button that says share feedback, and that's our online survey to gain details from residents and visitors to both our downtown and also Cal Ave business districts, to help support us evolving this program and making it something really wonderful for everybody. We're also providing these regular check-ins with the community. The next two dates for these meetings are July 20th and August 3rd. They're all Mondays and they start at 5 p.m. We also have an opportunity for you to email us, and that's citymgr, the city manager's office, at cityofpaloalto.org. Share any feedback, concerns, your experience. We'd love to hear from you. We also have two other opportunities to receive regular updates from us. One is a twice weekly coronavirus report. We do share regular updates about this program through that opportunity. And if you haven't signed up and would like to, you could go to cityofpaloalto.org/newsletter sign up. Lastly, I wanted to share that we are providing updates via Nextdoor and all of our other social media channels, which you can learn more about at cityofpaloalto.org/connect. With that, I'll pass it back over to our city manager, Ed Shikada.
All right, well, thank you very much. So this will be on a regular basis our opportunity during these sessions to get some questions from our audience. This being our first session, we won't have that, so we'll just proceed. And as you're watching this broadcast, then please go ahead and use the email or other tools that Megan pointed out in order to give us feedback on this ongoing program. Clearly, we with the city are very interested in ensuring this is successful for our business community, for our residents, and really for the entire ecosystem that we provide support for. So with that, thank you for joining us here today, and look forward to discussing this with you as our program proceeds through the summer. Thank you very much.